So the whole facade looks like a cut cabbage and like a bunch of them all across the front.
Yes, this is what they wanted to have, and
beautiful.
This is what we achieved there. In terms of what you can do with the system, since it's a panelized system, you're very free. You're not limited to any dimensions. It's just that whatever you want to do can be delivered on site, can be produced.
All right, Bernhard, what are we looking at here?
So these are just some of the examples of the buildings that we did in the past. So if we look here, we have affordable housings, Austria, in Innsbruck, in Vienna, and then part of therapy center also in Innsbruck. And the question is, these are all subsidized by the government.
Okay.
Then the question always arises, why does the government want to go into this kind of building, this kind of building system? And the answer is quite easy, is if you're a government body, you probably have the amount of money to build a building, but you do not have the money or the funds to be renovating in 20 years. So they have really a long span and they want to, hey, if I put insulation on the outside, I need to renovate in 20 years. And therefore, by using the thermal wall and the system over here, you might be required to put another paint or another coating on the outside, but that's it. You do not need to generally renovate the building after 20 to 30 years. Here we see a very nice object with a foam liner with a different surface texture. Here is a solution with colored concrete. And as I mentioned before, multi-level residential housings. This is a typical example of multi-level residential housing. Very, very common now.
Right.
And we've actually built these kind of buildings quite often.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful building. And also, like you said, I mean, the longevity that concrete delivers. Right, you're not punching holes in the concrete walls,
no.
and you know, in an affordable housing project, right? Because there's a lot of turnover sometimes in the affordable housing, but it also using your system as an affordable way to give somebody a quality place to live.
Yes, to having a higher quality of living space and higher amount of living area inside.
Yeah.
Integrating the structural members with the insulation inside, you can also decrease the thickness of the walls. Okay. So often it is possible to actually increase the sellable living space by just
because the wall thickness.
The wall thickness is going to go down.
It gives more living space inside because the building footprint has been reduced.
Yeah, well, the outside footprint is still stays the same, but internal you're gaining. And if you're gaining a couple of inches, then you're gaining a building like this. You're gaining quite a lot.
Yeah. So, and then we have a building up here that's all glass mainly, except for the wall floor systems, but there's a lot of glass. That's beautiful.
Yeah, this is then the other side. If we're talking here about affordable housings, then we also have the individual housings. This is villa styles. Just to push the edge of what is possible in terms of architectural and building technology, every client does 5 to 10 houses like this every year. Here you have only individual villas, and then the combination with the glass. Actually, this one has also a very, very nice shot because it's inside of a winery. These are things that are possible just to combine with the system.
So you're not limited. You could do everything from an affordable housing, workforce housing type product, all the way up to multi-million-dollar, the most beautiful structures you'll ever see.
Yes. The only limitation or the thing that we have is concrete, but this is what we're doing. Concrete is part of the system that we are promoting here.
I said it earlier when we were talking, and I'll say it again. The way you did your new building, showing all the concrete and the designs, and I could live with concrete walls throughout because it's not just gray concrete.
No.
You can do so many things with it, and I think that's what people out there are maybe not understanding. It doesn't have to feel industrial. I mean, it is super modern feeling, clean, fresh, open. There's a lot of value to how you've done that over there.
Yeah, we just did a very huge hotel project in Austria with a very, very huge architectural company, and he coined the phrase artificial stone because he doesn't want to tell it's concrete. Yeah. Concrete sometimes has a bad connotation to it, so he is rather saying it is artificial stone, and this is what we are creating here. Together with the foam liners, even the foam liner you see here in the back, you're creating an artificial stone, and this is the highest quality of product that you can provide to the client.
So we're looking at some projects here. Now, one of my favorite things that you showed me is you guys actually built a hockey stadium.
Yes, there we have to move a little bit to
Yeah, so let's take a look at the hockey stadium. So what do we have here? We have the commercial projects. So walk me through what we're looking at.
So, as you mentioned, we did the local ice rink, the Intercable Arena here in Bruneck for the local ice team. We finished a couple of years ago, but the rest, what you see here, are different office buildings or a huge manufacturing facility. Aside from that, the region there where we're located here in Brixen is very, very renowned for its hospitality industry. So there are a lot of hotels, a lot of buildings, and so this is a golf course with a hotel behind that. Then
beautiful vineyard with swimming pools and a hotel.
Vineyard, swimming pool, hotel, another high-class living arrangement over here. In terms of industrial buildings, here we have a very nice one, which is a local sauerkraut factory, and they wanted to have a foam liner with their cabbages.
So the whole facade looks like a cut cabbage and like a bunch of them all across the front.
Yes, this is what they wanted to have, and
beautiful.
This is what we achieved there. In terms of what you can do with the system, since it's a panelized system, you're very free. You are not limited to any dimensions. It's just that whatever you want to do and can be delivered on site can be produced.
No matter what it is, what the photo is, what the picture, and clearly everything from single family homes to stadiums to other production facilities and offices.
Yeah, everything can be done. Importantly is what we've talked a little bit before is sustainability aspect, or the thinking into the future. And I know that concrete has a bad vibe because of the huge CO2 emissions, but in terms of the concrete mix, we are already really doing a lot of work in terms of the concrete mix, reducing the amount of cement that is required to get the concrete strength. We have a system, what we call the Green Code Curing Control, where we are actually measuring the temperature of our elements during the curing process, just to optimize it in terms of cement usage and in terms of mix design. There are many things that we have to look into to be really net carbon zero by 2030 or 2050, depending on who you're talking to.
Right, the different countries have different goals.
Yes.
And you're working in all these countries, so you have to work towards meeting these goals to keep production with your partners moving in the right direction.
Yes, I mean, in the European Union, we try to standardize a little bit, but every country has their own specialities, just like in the States, that every state has their own priorities, and try to accommodate them. Important is that we are really working hard on a net zero production, and the biggest part there is the concrete, but we are also working in terms of recycling, that all of our products are actually recyclable or upcyclable, not downcyclable but upcyclable. This is something that we are really looking into and working hard on achieving that.
Did we miss anything? Is there anything we need to talk about before we do this beautiful factory tour? Full automation, robots, 6 people running the whole thing?
I'm pretty sure I've said a lot, but should you have in the future any questions, I and my team, we are here open for you. Just get in contact with us, and we are open to talk about your project, about your dreams, and about your future, how we can maybe help you and maybe jointly work together.
Yeah, and bring value, right? It's not just working together, it's bringing the value, the experience, the knowledge, the R&D, the MEPs in the wall, the climatic ceilings, things we're not seeing in the United States, that I've seen. You guys in Green Code have all of that, and you're willing to share it and bring on other partners, and I think that's valuable.
That's it, what we want to do. We want to move forward. We want to make the living conditions a better place.
I love it. All right, everybody, so there you have it. We're gonna take ourselves over to the factory, but in the meantime, check out some more of these projects and check out their new modular headquartered building. It's absolutely beautiful.